All right, hello everybody. This is Neil with Simpler Trading and the Voodoo Mastery. I'm in the Voodoo Mastery at Simpler Trading. See, this one is pretty simple. We're going to call this one the Powell Pleaser. Spoke from Jackson Hole this morning, and of course by now you probably seen and heard the aftermath. I see this one as pretty simple. Today's big positive response was, you see these wicks down here. I mean, somebody's clearly trying to defend this area. Now, in all honesty, I would have preferred to see it a little further down, but it just is what it is, and that is that you got these wicks in here where for a couple of days prior, and then again overnight, and then of course, you know, today at 9 a.m. Central, 10 Eastern on the comments, we got the big bid. Anyway, at the end of the day, you can see that this size of this candle is very, large by comparison to most everything on average that preceded it. So I call that now our benchmark or reference candle. And this is why I say it's simple. When I see that, I just ask the mid to hold. And so now, early next week, this thing can come in and I'll give it back to the mid of the range of this candle to hold. And as long as it does that, then quite simply looking for the path to be continuation to the upside. Next target on the top, ES, not SPX, but ES is 65.30. And that's probably 6,500-ish and maybe 10 or something like that in the SPX. I guess the spread right now is about close to 40. So this is a dominant now benchmark reference candle. Anytime I see that, it's the mid that I ask to hold. So it's real simple for the purpose of just looking at, this particular video, and then now we're looking up into the next target, which would be the 1272 extension, which, by the way, up there is also in SPX terms the short strike of that JPM collar trade. If you go to the September quarterlies SPX and look for very, very, very large open interest, you'll see it. It's there 45,000 times. You'll see it. And, like by comparison, here's an example for you. Let me just show you this. Here's why we look for those targets. We see, remember the last move for Calmain down and then back to revisit the highs. What do we look for? 1272 extension. Ding. Comes back in. Now it's making new highs. This is going to be one of the highlights in the next video I do, the premium video, because you can see here the squeeze is firing long, and so now next retrace back to the 8 is a buy and looking for up. So anyway, there's a kind of an example as to why, when you're looking for a move to a new, to new highs, we focus on a couple of targets. One's a new high. Next is 1272. Next is 1418. You know the deal. The fibs. So 141. So that's what we do. This one's pretty simple in my opinion, anyway. So Powell, for right now, certainly is pleasing folks. The expectation for rate cut in the September meet went from 75% yesterday to 92% today. Pretty big jump. Hope you have good trading. Nice weekend. I think we did really well on this. Honestly, we're talking yesterday about the wicks on the bottom down here, and then this morning had a little bit of a bid to the upside, a retrace back to test the open swing high at 11 in the ES. If you look at it on a 1, 3, 5 minute chart, something, you'll see it. It was a bid that broke at 28, I think was the high. Came back in for 11s, and zip, up she went. And I don't know how you can do any better, really, than just about that. So, all right, wish you good trading. Nice weekend. Come see us in the Voodoo Mastery. If you want to look at this stuff, we do it both intraday and, swing. We're swing long. We have been since mid-April or so. We don't mind hedging, and we will when we start seeing the likes of this, which I put you onto last week on that inside range on the weekly, and then you got a series of these lower highs on the daily, and that's one time framing down until the high of the low bar is breached, which ends the one time framing down, which this did. And so next week we'll start to monitor for higher lows, which will start a new sequence, one time framing up. That's where we're at. Good weekend. Take care. See you again next week.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me